Once again, we are back on Moons Ttalk Train of Thought with a series of episodes with the experts who come on this Ttalk platform and they share their experience so that through their experience our target audience draw meaningful learning. Every time we try and bring the experts from the different diversified industry. Normally, this Ttalk platform is a platform where the experts can come and share their initial struggle and in the entire process how they have reached at the top of an pyramid which is there. Every one of us have got problem in the life. Some way or the other we try and struggle and make our own way as to the career path which is concerned like. And normally I think कभी कहते हैं जिंदगी खेलती है उसी के साथ जो खिलाड़ी बेहतरीन होता है. दर्द सबके एक है मगर हौसले सबके अलग अलग है. कोई हताश होकर बिखर जाता है और कोई संघर्ष करके निखर जाता है. जी हाँ, आज ऐसी कहानी हमारे इस Ttalk मंच पे है. मिस्टर प्रवीण सावंत, he is a senior vice president and CHRO with 63 Moons Technologies Ltd. Sir, welcome to this Ttalk एक बूंद सोच की लाइफ.
Indeed, my pleasure to be on this show.
Thank you very much. Many a times at the initial stage of your career, something tragedy which happens in your life and it's very difficult for you to cope up as far as the life journey which is concerned. But only if you are strong enough to understand those circumstances, you can navigate and be at the top. Yes, we are talking in terms of Mr. Pravin Sawant, who at the initial stages have gone through certain tragedy, and today we could see him as a CHRO and the CHRO and Senior Vice President of 63 Moons Technologies Private Limited. He is also past president of HR Infotech Association, which represents HR professionals in IT and ITES companies to the industries bodies like NASSCOM, FICCI and CII, and also president of Rotary E-Club of Mumbai, India. And in fact, for 18 years, he has been a part of an organization as far as IT which is concerned. Sir, welcome back to this episode.
Pleasure.
Normally, many times we have seen in life at the initial stage, many of us we go through the problem, something happens in the life like. So can you share the problems which you have gone through that, facing tough time in a life at the initial stage of a journey was a major setback like?
Thanks for calling me over here. It's been my pleasure to be on this show. You see, Dr. Chima, adversity brings out the best out of a person, and something which unknowingly people try to give or take whenever they face challenges in their life. I have a very humble family background. My father used to work with a company called Murphy India. And this Murphy India, you would have seen the photo where the baby with a smile.
Correct.
And that was one of the leading radio and transistor making company. Way back in 1987, that company started facing issue, and my father was working in that company as a maintenance engineer. It went for a strike for almost 3 years, and during those 3 years we had a lot of challenge. My father eventually in 1989, I lost my father. He had a sudden kidney failure, and a family of 4. I have a younger sister who is younger to me for 4 years. My mother.
What was your age at that time?
I was 14 and a half years old. My sister was 10 years. My mother was always a housewife. And that was the major setback for a family where, at that young age, when you never thought about, having a financial security, what it is. I mean, my father never let us feel that insecurity, because even though the company was not doing good, he used to fetch some money, doing odd jobs. So never used to face that. But eventually when he died, we had a very meager savings at hand. And my mother was always a housewife. So there was a challenge as to how do we cope up with the daily expenses. Initial 6-8 months to figure out as to what challenges that were gone into. and thereafter slowly when you come to the terms that you have to manage your family, so I started doing odd jobs, right from working with sweet shops, selling crackers during Diwali, sometimes working with a paper vendor, newspaper vendor, and likewise. All along, I was a very studious student, and I always had this urge of, learning more. And I always had this faith in myself that education will bring out the best in me. So I never thought of quitting education, but alongside my education, I wanted to do, earning, which will help my family, and that's where I possibly did those jobs, and those jobs eventually helped me
And
to
Mr.
make my
Pravin, at
personality.
that age, at 14 years, you are too young even to understand what this life is all about, and such a shock, And as far as the family members or the relatives which were there, you got any kind of support from their side?
Of course, I mean, I have a very good paternal and maternal uncles, and also aunts who stood by us during those adverse moments. Of course, they had their own challenges, financial challenges, but even though, I mean, my uncles used to send money, I mean, those, now it will sound to be a very meager amount, 400 rupees a month, when they used to send us from their maybe a salary of 1500 rupees. So from that point of time, it was a huge support to us, and I really owe to them for selling us through for maybe a couple of years. After a couple of years, my mother herself told them that do not send us money. We will try to manage with our own savings. And I started doing odd jobs, and that used to bring money to us. And I'm really thankful for my family to stand by us. And going forward, eventually, when I started making new friends, those friends which stood with me, and I am possibly blessed with good amount of people around me, and with their support and their blessings, I possibly, I'm not saying overcome full challenges, but whatever that I am today, I owe a lot to them.
But again, that's an age where you need to play and be totally free, you want to enjoy that life at that particular age, and you started even working and enjoying your childhood at that particular period of time, working part-time, maybe in street shop, and also distribution of and paper. But what coping skills have you used, the post-crisis, what made you trigger, no, I have to be on my own and take care of my family,
You see, Dr. Chima, childhood is a very precious time when you and it's a time as you grow in your age, you start remembering those days. And I still remember good days of my childhood. I used to study in a school called New English School, and this New English School was in Thane. That school has brought in a lot of good values in me, जिसको हम हिंदी में संस्कार बोलते हैं. Those values are still imbibed in me, as to respect elders, respect the education per se, avail the benefits which are available, but not at the cause of somebody's loss. So these are the benefits that I learned from these schools, and we still have a good number of group of my school buddies. That's thanks to WhatsApp and Facebook. That group is active.
Nice.
So these are the things that were imbibed in me. I was a very good sportsman. I used to play cricket. I was an athletic person. If I wouldn't have got into HR, I would have been into some sports arena. Eventually, when you have this responsibility of a family, sports take a back step, and you start focusing on something for your living. So education was something that I clinged on to. I wanted to pursue my studies further, not at the compromise of earning money, but at the same point of time, both had to go hand in hand. So I chose some odd jobs which helped me. And I personally feel that, these challenges really brought a different perspective to me. I was an impatient guy, become a patient one. I was an aggressive person. I became a kind of very deep-rooted person. I was very spontaneous. I am still spontaneous, but my spontaneity has taught me that your spontaneity should not be such that somebody feels hurt with your language or words. So that has brought a lot of changes in me, and possibly these matured changes has always helped me to bring in personality changes in myself.
Well, right from childhood, you have been shouldering the responsibility and accountability of a family and studies of your sister, like who was only 4 years at that time, and she went ahead and did her graduation and double graduation. Now she's settled abroad in Singapore, and I think the base strong culture and the value was set at the initial stage, where you could understand what life is all about, what struggle is all about.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, your siblings copy from you, and fortunately my sister also realized that she also needs to study further. She like me, she also went through adversities, a lot of changes in the thought processes, a lot of perspective of people that whom they see you as to what you were and what you are. So when she saw me that I am struggling with my studies, I am struggling with my odd jobs, I wanted her to study, and I asked her to focus on to studies. And eventually, she was possibly not a studious student like me, but she made herself a good student who could have, who wanted to dedicate herself for the cause of the family, and she became my support too. She was 4 years younger to me, so when this adversity happened, she was 10 years old, not 4. And eventually, when she saw me studying studiously, she also picked up that, and I'm very proud of her that she is a double graduate, having both degrees, BCom and BA, and she is very settled.
Good. I think many of the parents and the audience who are watching and listening to Mr. Pravin Sawant, who is a CHRO with 63 Moons Technologies Ltd. At the initial stage of our life, the tragedy do happen and I'm sure many of the parents who are listening to him, I'm sure we get a lot of confidence to fight as for the life which is concerned. ऐसे कहते हैं मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती हैं जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंख वो यूं ही फटफटाते हैं, हौसले से उड़ान होती है। आई थिंक यही हौसला है जो मिस्टर प्रवीण सावंत को इस स्टेज से इस मुकाम तक पहुंचाया हुआ है। आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इनसाइट्स व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग एक्सक्लूसिवली ऑन टीटॉक एक बूंद सोच की, अ स्टोरी ऑफ एन मिस्टर प्रवीण सावंत, हाउ ही स्टार्टेड हिज जर्नी एज अ लाइफ व्हिच इज कंसर्न एंड टुडे एट द टॉप ऑफ एन पिरामिड एंड दैट टू पीपल्स मैन So thanks a lot for being part of this show. I'm sure the insights what you have given and your struggle at the initial stage is going to motivate a lot of the audience who are listening to you. Thanks a lot. God bless you in abundance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And do catch up with Mr. Pravin Sawant in the next episode of ttalk ek Boond. So till then, go to www.ttalk.net. Subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. Thank you very much.